It's May morn. Are you up yet? Or are you still nursing a hangover from all that cheap liquor and greasy food you had last night? I'm just curious, did any of you have any wild dreams last night? I didn't. At least not that I can remember. Anyway, it's Sunday in Sunday school. I think I've got the day straight. Because it's Sunday school, let's do something sacred. Now, in a magician's, or a modern magician's, or many modern magicians' sort of formal educational process, we're encouraged to memorize certain verses or certain chapters or certain things. Masons are just incredibly big on memorization, and it's something that you can do, sort of just like it feels like it's just bonehead, unintellectual shit work. Just it's hard to memorize a great deal of things, and while you're doing it, yeah, you're not sure. Well, why the hell am I doing this? Okay, number one, what you're doing when you memorize things is you're literally physiologically changing the structure of your brain. Now, why are you doing that? Who knows? But you're definitely mutating yourself. And when you think about the process of the mechanics of the process of, say, the death technique of the Egyptian Book of the Dead, where you're obliged to memorize a great deal of information concerning a post-mortem journey that you're taking after your physical body dies, but the mental processes may still be continuing in the timelessness of the death coma. And it's a passing from pylon to pylon, or through doorway, through doorway, through doorway. And it's keeping the part of your mind concentrated on something that in a normal death process, a person isn't required to do, or doesn't utilize the potential power of that, and they just sort of drift off. Well, I'm dying now. I think I'll just go melt into the big whatever. But instead of doing that, you go, no, I'm passing through a door. I know the name of that door. Oh, there's a guardian at the door. I know his name. I know the color of his socks. I'll tell him his name and he'll let me pass. Okay, your name is Yellow Socks. Oh, yes, come through. And you pass through and you see another one. There's an aardvark with his nose barring the door, and you say, you can't come through until you tell me my name. Ah, Sucker of Ants is your name. And yes, that's my name. And the doorknob is named Termite Gobbler. You're a termite gobbler. Oh, you must come through. And it keeps you going. It's a constant line of chatter, and you've got something memorized, and you've got yourself focused during the death coma instead of drifting away. Okay? Memorization is a big thing. And I remember when I was, I took my third degree as a master mason. And in California, you don't, unless you want to be an officer, you don't have to memorize what you've just gone through to claim the grade. But if you want to prove proficient in the degree so you can become an officer and move up and things, you have to read back the entire lengthy, complicated ceremony that you pass through during your initiation. And it's long. It's really long. And then there's a master's lecture that you're delivered. And an old man stands up and he delivers that lengthy, long-form master's lecture from memory. And there's line after line of sideliners, old veteran Masons, some of them in their 90s, sitting there, and their lips are moving to every word of that master's lecture. They know it. And if he makes one mistake, they're on his ass. It's the Egyptian Book of the Dead. It's the technique of the Egyptian Book of the Dead going on. And when I saw that happening, I said, I get it. I get it. This is part of the mechanics of the initiatory formula. And memory is a very big thing. And in a certain sense, you don't know who you are until you can remember who you've been. You don't even know what the momentum or the trajectory of your existence is unless you can remember it. And I was asked to choose a chapter from Liber 65, or the Heart Girt with Serpent. It's one of the primary holy books of Thelema. And the chapter I chose to memorize, I'm not going to read it back from memory for you today. Believe me, it's been a while. But I am going to read the chapter to you. Liber 65, the Heart Girt with Serpent. Liber Cordis Cincti Serpente, subfigure Adonai. I am the heart, and the snake is entwined about the invisible core of the mind. Rise, O my snake, it is now the hour of the hooded and holy ineffable flower. Rise, O my snake, into brilliance of bloom on the corpse of Osiris afloat in the tomb. O heart of my mother, my sister, mine own, thou art given to Nile, to the terror Typhon. Ah me, but the glory of ravening storm enswathes thee, enwraps thee in frenzy of form. Be still, O my soul, that the spell may dissolve as the wands are upraised and the aeons revolve. Behold, in my beauty, how joyous thou art, O snake that caresses the crown of mine heart. Behold, we are one, and the tempest of years goes down to the dusk, and the beetle appears. O beetle, the drone of thy dolorous note be ever the trance of this tremulous throat. I await the awaking, the summons on high from the Lord Adonai, from the Lord Adonai. Adonai spake unto VVVVV, saying, there must ever be division in the word. For the colors are many, but the light is one. Therefore thou writest that which is of mother of pearl, mother of emerald, and of lapis lazuli, and of turquoise, and of alexandrite. Another writeth words of topaz, and of deep amethyst, and of grey sapphire, and of deep sapphire, with a tinge as of blood. Therefore do ye fret yourselves because of this. Be not content with the image. I, who am an image of an image, say this. Debate not of the image, saying, Beyond, beyond. One mounteth unto the crown by the moon, and by the sun, and by the arrow, and by the foundation, and by the dark home of the stars from the black earth. Not otherwise may ye reach unto the smooth point. Nor is it fitting for the cobbler to prate of the royal matter. O cobbler, mend me the shoe that I may walk. O king, if I be thy son, let us speak of the embassy to the king thy brother. Then there was silence. Speech had done with us a while. There is a light so strenuous that it is not perceived as light. Wolf's bane is not so sharp as steel, yet it pierceth the body more subtly. Even as evil kisses corrupt the blood, so do my words devour the spirit of man. I breathe, and there is infinite dis-ease in the spirit. As an acid eats into steel, as a cancer that utterly corrupts the body, so am I unto the spirit of man. I shall not rest till I have dissolved it all. So also the light that is absorbed, one absorbs little and is called white and glistening. One absorbs all and is called black. Therefore, O my darling, thou art black. O my beautiful, I have likened thee to a jet Nubian slave, a boy of melancholy eyes. O the filthy one, the dog, they cry against thee because thou art my beloved. Happy are they that praise thee, for they see thee with mine eyes. Not aloud shall they praise thee, but in the night watch one shall steal close and grip thee with the secret grip. Another shall privily cast the crown of violets over thee. A third shall greatly dare and press mad lips to thine. Yea, the night shall cover all, the night shall cover all. Thou wast long seeking me. Thou didst run forward so fast, I was unable to come up with thee. O thou darling fool, what bitterness thou didst crown thy days withal. Now I am with thee, and I will never leave thy being. For I am the soft, sinuous one entwined about thee, O heart of gold. My head is jeweled with 12 stars. My body is white as milk of the stars. It is bright with the blue of the abyss of stars invisible. I have found that which could not be found. I have found a vessel of quicksilver. Thou shalt instruct thy servant in his ways. Thou shalt speak often with him. The scribe looketh upward and crieth, Amen. Thou hast spoken it, Lord God. Further Adonai spake unto VVVVV and said, Let us take our delight in the multitude of men. Let us shape unto ourselves a boat of mother of pearl from them, that we may ride upon the river of Amrit. Thou seest yon petal of amaranth blown by the wind from the low, sweet brows of Hathor? The Magister saw it and rejoiced in the beauty of it. Listen. From a certain world came an infinite wail. That falling petal seemeth to the little ones a wave to engulf their continent. So they will reproach thy servant, saying, Who has set thee to save us? He will be sore distressed. All they understand not that thou and I are fashioning a boat of mother of pearl. We will sail down the river of Amrit, even to the yew groves of Yama, where we may rejoice exceedingly. The joy of men shall be our silver gleam, their woe our blue gleam, all in the mother of pearl. The scribe was wroth thereof. He spake, O Adonai, my master, I have borne the inkhorn and pen without pay, in order that I might search this river of Amrit, and sail thereon as one of ye. This I demand for my fee, that I partake of the echo of your kisses. And immediately it was granted unto him. Nay, but not therewith was he content. By an infinite abasement unto shame did he strive. Then a voice, Thou strivest ever, even in thy yielding thou strivest to yield, and lo, thou yieldest not. Go thou into the outermost places, and subdue all things. Subdue thy fear and thy disgust, then yield. There was a maiden that strayed among the corn, and sighed. Then grew a new birth, a narcissus, and therein she forgot her sighing in her loneliness. Even instantly Hades rode heavily upon her and ravished her away. Then the scribe knew the narcissus in his heart. But because it came not to his lips, therefore was he shamed, and spake no more. Adonai spake yet again with VVVVV, and said, The earth is ripe for vintage. Let us eat of her grapes and be drunken thereon. And VVVVV answered and said, O my Lord, my dove, my excellent one, how shall this word seem to the children of men? And he answered him, Not as thou canst see. It is certain that every letter of this cipher hath some value, but who shall determine the value? For it varieth ever according to the subtlety of him that made it. And he answered him, Have I not the key thereof? I am clothed with the body of flesh. I am one with the eternal and omnipotent God. Then said Adonai, Thou hast the head of the hawk, and thy phallus is the phallus of a sar. Thou knowest the white, and thou knowest the black, and thou knowest that these are one. But why seekest thou the knowledge of their equivalents? And he said, That my work might be right. That my work may be right. And Adonai said, The strong brown reaper swept his swath and rejoiced. The wise man counted his muscles, and pondered, and understood not, and was sad. Reap thou and rejoice. Then was the adept glad, and lifted up his arms. Lo, an earthquake, and plague, and terror on the earth, a casting down of them that sate in high places, a famine upon the multitude. And the grape fell ripe and rich into his mouth. Stained is the purple of thy mouth, O brilliant one, with the white glory of the lips of Adonai. The foam of the grape is like the storm upon the sea. The ships tremble and shudder. The shipmaster is afraid. That is thy drunkenness, O Holy One. And the winds whirl away the soul of the scribe into the happy haven. O Lord God, let the haven be cast down by the fury of the storm. Let the foam of the grape tincture my soul with thy light. Bacchus grew old and was Silenus. Pan was ever Pan forever and evermore throughout the aeons. Intoxicate the inmost. O my lover, not the outermost. So was it ever the same. I have aimed at the peeled wand of my God, and I have hit. Yea, I have hit. And that's our Sunday School Class A document for a May morn Sunday. Sunday school is dismissed. Continue to be good to yourself and be good to each other. We'll see you tomorrow. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will.